What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Now it's time for AEW Dynamite as Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara battle in a ladder match to determine the undisputed TNT champion. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Dynamite, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including two huge surprises for the Royal Rumble. What is WWE's biggest problem right now? Roman Reigns' COVID problem. Roman Reigns defends Jon Moxley, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now, as always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good, as number 1, Danhausen is all elite. Internet darling Danhausen is all elite after making a surprise appearance during the Lights Out match between Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy. Now, in case you missed it, Cole went under the ring to grab a chair, only to find Danhausen holding onto it. Danhausen started Cole and the fans, giving Orange Cassidy time to regroup against Cole. Now, while Danhausen isn't exactly a household name, the colourful and charismatic wrestler, whose face paint and mannerisms have led to some to describe him as Conan O'Brien possessed by a demon. A rumour has it that Danhausen is still recovering from a knee injury, but as seen last night, he can make an immediate impact and should fit in well with AEW style. Number 2, Punk's callback. Is CM Punk the best in the world? Well, Punk definitely made the case for himself when he called back Cleveland, telling them he owed him one, harkening back to when he walked out on the WWE in 2014. Punk's promo on MJF was another classic, and he did a good job selling the Pinnacle pummeling him while MJF gloated. The Punk and MJF feud continues to be everything that fans expected and more. Number 3, Wardlow is a star. And what can we say about Wardlow? Actually quite a lot, as he's gone from the secondary character of MJF's bodyguard to a homegrown megastar. AEW has built him up perfectly with super squash matches to establish him as nothing short of a monster, and using a slow burn to build his inevitable breakup with MJF. Ironically, Wardlow is one of the most watched figures in wrestling, just like MJF, and the big man can write his own ticket when his AEW contract expires. And number 4, a titanic TNT ladder match. Last night's TNT Championship unification bout between Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara was one of AEW's best TV matches ever, as it featured suspense, high spots, and some sick bumps neither wrestler had any business taking, including one where Sammy Guevara jumped off the ladder while Cody was on another, hitting a cutter on the American Nightmare. Perhaps even sicker was Sammy hitting a swanton bomb off Cody off the top of the ladder while Rhodes was laying on another wrestler. Congratulations to both men for putting on an unforgettable match that reminded fans of how good Rhodes can be and how Guevara's career is just only beginning. But as good as the match was, Cody cut a poignant promo after the match, recalling advice his dad gave him about the urgency of winning and pointing out how painful it is. Cody mixed reality with kayfabe, telling fans he's working without a contract, and reminding fans about how important the winner's purse is. Cody's promo had the real sports feel that you don't always get in wrestling, and the only bad part is it didn't air on Dynamite. But that was good. What about the bad? Is number 1, Adam Cole's inexplicable loss. Is Adam Cole cursed? Well, while some fans believe Danhausen put a kayfabe curse on Cole during his match against Orange Cassidy, other fans think AEW isn't booking Cole properly, and that Cole's loss to Cassidy was another example of AEW's mediocre booking of Cole. If they're serious about pushing Cole as a main eventer, it needs to book him more prudently, as Orange Cassidy, while popular, isn't perceived by most fans as a main eventer. AEW may be taking its time with pushing Cole, which is understandable considering how few spots there are at the top right now thanks to AEW's crowded roster. Now, there was nothing downright ugly about last night's show, as AEW's Beach Break featured a fantastic ladder match, an action-packed main event, and plenty of excitement in between. It wasn't the best Dynamite by far, but it was a damn solid one. What did you guys think of Dynamite last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at major news on 2 Royal Rumble surprise entrants. Atop in the news today are 2 big names which could make a surprise appearance at the 2022 Royal Rumble. Firstly, let's start with an exclusive report from Ringside News. Ringside News has learned that Bad Bunny is currently scheduled for the Royal Rumble Premium Live event. A tenured member of the creative team confirmed that Bad Bunny is in the Rumble. Brad Shefford previously reported this and said that the code Mean Rabbit was used backstage. We were told there are no code words. That's stupid. Bad Bunny always looking to do more with WWE. Now, there have been rumors of Bad Bunny returning to the WWE sometime in 2022, and a Rumble appearance would be the ideal place to set things up for Bunny competing at this year's Mania. Bad Bunny won over fans, critics, and wrestlers alike with his strong performance at Mania, and it should be interesting to see if he's improved in the ring and how much. A second potential return is in the Women's Rumble, as Fightful Select is reporting that the former NXT Women's Champion and World Tag Team Champion Kairi Sane is likely to appear this Saturday. Fightful Select's Sean Ross Sapp is reporting Zayn's name is being mentioned as a surprise guest. Sapp noted, however, that things change, reminding fans that few things are set in stone when it comes to the grappling game. With rumors of Zayn's tag partner Asuka returning at the Rumble, fans could see a reunion of the Kabuki Warriors. Next up, Roman Reigns' COVID problem. Roman Reigns missed day 1 due to testing positive for COVID, but how is he faring now? Well, the current Universal Champion has been cleared to compete and told Sports Illustrated that he's dealing with the after effects of his bout with the coronavirus. I still feel that actually when I'm doing my conditioning, because we don't wrestle quite as much and we're doing a lot of 6-man tag team matches, and I don't have singles matches as much as I used to, so I have to continue to really push the conditioning on my own, and I've noticed that in the past couple of weeks, that when I really blow myself up on the bike or running, whatever I'm doing, I can feel that tightness and a little bit of wheezing. Reigns said that while he escaped a serious bout of COVID, he's still recovering and that it's no laughing matter. It's definitely something serious. As someone who is vaccinated and boosted, it still got to me and I still feel the effects. While they weren't as severe as they can be for some, it did hang around and linger for a while. Roman Reigns is just one of several wrestlers who missed time due to the pandemic, and there will undoubtedly be more absences to come. Next up, Chris Jericho talks WWE's biggest problem right now. Now, according to former WWE superstar and current AEW star Chris Jericho, it's all about the promotion's failure to build new stars. The champion discussed the situation during an appearance on Freddie Prinze Jr.'s Wrestling with Freddie podcast, saying, "This is not a WWE bash. I worked there for almost 20 years. I loved working for WWE, but one thing they still have an issue with, and you can see it if you watch the show, is building new stars. They really have a problem with that, and I don't know why." Jericho compared things in AEW where he used his star power to elevate younger talent, and in another case re-establish a known WWE star. You look at my first few programs, match 3 in AEW was against Darby Allin, Jungle Boy was right around that time, then Jon Moxley, who had been in rehab when he came from WWE, because Mox was not Mox when he first showed up. He was still Dean Ambrose, the goofy guy who wasn't funny doing all that stupid shit they made him do. We had to make him into a star right off the bat. Jericho's been wrestling for over 30 years, so he has a keen insight into the world of pro wrestling. Do you guys agree with Jericho? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Roman Reigns defends Jon Moxley. Now, the wrestling world is still furious over Bubba Ray Dudley's controversial comments that suggested Jon Moxley should have apologized to fans for his recent absence to undergo treatment for alcohol abuse. But now Moxley's former Shield brother Roman Reigns weighed in on the situation. He mentioned on the Sports Illustrated Media podcast that he said that while Moxley doesn't owe anyone an apology, he understands where Bubba Ray may have been coming from. I didn't actually see the take from Bubba, but I've seen some of the responses to it, and I look at it in kind of both perspectives. I understand what Bubba is saying. Roman suggested Dudley's comments may be due to the perception that at the end of the day we're performers, we're entertainers, and we want to be there for our fan base. It's understandable that wrestlers don't want to let anyone down, but their wellness should always come first, and it's a personal call whether they want to address this in private or want to include the fans. And finally, sad news for Veer fans. And last but not least, we're sad to report that it looks like Veer won't be debuting in the Royal Rumble. Veer, whose arrival in Raw has been the subject of hype videos for the last few months, was believed to be a possible Rumble surprise entrant. However, Cultaholic is reporting Veer is still coming, but he reportedly won't be at the Rumble. Do you think Veer is likely to come in 2023? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.